Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video is a Black Library review. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at one of the many publications brought out by Black Library and giving you our thoughts on the book, audio drama, whatever it happens to be. Now, I will say that we will try to keep this review to as spoiler free as possible, though there will obviously be points where we talk about things happening in the book. We will try to keep away from saying any of the major plot points, so you can go and read this book for yourself. We'll just give you our thoughts on whether or not we think it is something you may be interested in. So we'll use this video to instruct you on maybe is this sort of going to be a book that you would like to see. With that all said and out the way, let's get cracking on. Let's talk a little bit about the book that we have reviewed this time. In today's Black Library review, we're going to be checking out Beasts, a Cado Ezechiar story by John French. This is one of the many short stories that came out in the Black Library Advent Calendar 2021. These normally come out around Christmas, and seeing as we are getting Cado Ezechiar, his novel and his miniature coming out this coming weekend, I thought we'd give a look at one of the short stories about him. So this one is written, as I said, by John French. You can find these for download either from the Black Library website or on things like iBooks and stuff like that as well. There is no audio version of this. It's just a short story. It's about 10 pages long. So let's get talking about it. And so, the story, really. First of all, Cado Ezechiar, the Hollow King, some called him, a name he has had for generations and times immortal. He's a tragic hero who seeks vengeance upon those of whom have wronged him in ages past. Now, this story takes place when Cado is ambushed and betrayed by a mysterious figure, and he wakes to find himself in the depths of an underground world, a cavern, a cave, or some sort of underground temple, and he's hunted by this giant monstrous beast. However, over the course of the story, we will find out that there's much more at work than a simple base trap at the start of this, and it will take all of the Hollow King's abilities to survive and unravel the truth within this little story. And so, what does this story do? Well, first of all, this story's purpose primarily is to give us a brief glimpse into the character that is Cado Ezechiar. His motives, his ambitions, and indeed his actual character himself. We get lots of little snippets and get a general idea of the sort of character we are going to be dealing with in, well, the future novel that is coming out for Cado. And I'm really excited by what I've seen. There's a lot to this character, and it really does feel like this story here is just scratching the surface for me of what we can expect from Cado. I'm really excited to see what more we've got it coming to. I've listened to a couple of these little short stories now recently, and I'm really enjoying the little short stories again. They do open up so much more into the world of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and this one gets me really excited for the full-length novel. And so, obviously, our main character is Cado Ezechiar, the Hollow King himself. Now, as I've said, we've got a cool miniature coming out this weekend for Cado. Now, he's known to some as the Hollow King. He's a wandering soul-blight vampire who hunts for the most delicious dish of all, revenge. He can only satiate his ravenous craving by slaying the burning hand sorceresses and sorcerers of the Change God who destroyed his kingdom and his family. Fortunately, some of those he's lost are still with him, bound in these ghostly sort of entrapment rings that he has on his fingers. And so he can summon all of these sort of fellows that he had once in life. And as you might expect from this foreboding demeanour and well-worn attire, Cado is a very highborn sort of outcast. Who bears a multitude of different curses, his crimson thirst, his obsession with his vengeance, and his iron-cast moral code. So he's quite an interesting vampire. Like, we've had these sort of stories before where vampires and even, undead characters and even destruction characters aren't inherently evil like chaos is in the mortal realms. They are against chaos as much as order is, more than anything. And so it's really interesting to sort of get a nice, cool character, I think, that, is a vampire and is, for all intents and purposes, a good guy. So what does the story do well though? And for me, it really does a good job at getting you to get an idea of who Cado Ezechiar is. It does a good job of showing us some of his abilities. We get to see some of the rings activated in the story, which I think is, going to be an integral part of his character. We get to see some of his abilities with those rings, without those rings. He is a vampire still, so he's definitely still got a lot of those abilities, and his demeanor and goals. So, what sort of person he is, how he is, a good vampire. And his goals, ultimately wanting to destroy these Cado Ezechiar cultists. Who would like this story? Well, if you are looking forward to reading the Cado Ezechiar novel that is coming out this weekend, this will be a fun little teaser for you, getting to know the character a little bit. Definitely, if you're a fan of Soulblight Gravelords, if you're a fan of, vampires that aren't exactly bad guys, if you're you like those sort of anti-heroes, especially, if your favorite comic book character, I guess, is someone like Deadpool or Deathstroke, those anti-heroes, the Punisher, etc. Cado, I think, certainly sort of fits maybe a little bit more to the gooder side of those sort of characters, but definitely fits in that point. In summary, I don't think there's much more to say than I've already said. This was fun to read. It had some interesting bits in it. It showed off Cado really well as a character. It had, an interesting enemy that it never sort of properly discloses, but definitely you have your thoughts about what it is. If you do read this and listen to this and you have an idea of what you think that enemy might be, let us know down in the comments below. It'd be lovely to see what everyone thinks it is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But this was enjoyable. I'd love to see more of this. Let us know what you thought down in the comments below. And if you're excited for Cado, let us know what you think of Cado as well. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappy390. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now, everyone.